welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another RC podcast. This episode, I'm joined by Daniel Chen. Daniel, give a little hello.
Hello, guys. Hey, everyone.
Yeah, so Daniel and I went to high school together and also go to university together at the
Mm,
University of British Columbia. And I really wanted to have Daniel on this podcast because he's got some really cool experiences that we can go over, specifically with kind of finding out your passion and what you want to do in life as a
right.
career. And I think Daniel has a really cool story and journey that a lot of people can relate to, really, with
Yeah.
this. Yeah, Daniel, why don't we talk a little bit about that? So, like, starting in high school, you kind of had a different career path than you had planned right now.
Oh, yeah. So I think starting from, I didn't really know about university until I'd say grade seven, right? Like you'd hear about things like UBC, SFU, like UT. I don't know if you've heard of it, but like it's like commonly talked about among Asian parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I should go to UBC, but I never really knew what I wanted to do. And I wasn't worried at all going into high school. High school was pretty much like just I was on cruise control, right? I was just having fun. It was stress free. But then I think around grade 10 and 11, I started to kind of have this interest for physiotherapy and chiropractors, right? Because I play basketball with Ryan. We're both in the school
Oh,
team.
you played with me.
Uh, yeah, we were both on the team,
I
right?
mean, we're both on the team, but did you play with me? Because,
Yeah.
you were on the court, I was on the bench.
No,
We'll
no,
get
no.
into that later.
I played. I have. My mom recorded every game, so I have clips. I have clips of us. Anyways, yeah. So I was fascinated by like physio in general, and with so much like technological advancements and like in healthcare these days, right? I was astonished, and um, so going into grade 12, my mindset was, oh, I'm gonna get into kin at UBC, and in high school, I finished all my like important classes in grade 11. So all my grade 12 classes, all my except for English 12, I did that in my final year. I did it with Ryan. I did it with
Yep,
you, right?
we did English together. I remember that.
Yeah, we
We're
did
all
it.
the same
Yeah,
desk
me,
group and
you,
just goofed around.
me, Ryan, Dion from the other podcast the other day.
Yeah,
Um, Susan, like
Susan and
that was
Siobhan.
fun. Siobhan, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started applying for kin, and I was so confident I was gonna get in. I had a decent average. I was at like a 91. I was like, it's all right, it's not bad.
Mhm.
I think I can get into kin. And then unfortunately I did it. So I went into arts, but I still went to UBC because I was like, maybe I'll just, transfer over after first year or something. So first year came, and I don't know about you, how you adapted to that
Mhm.
transition from high school to university, but for me, it was a bit challenging at first because first thing, you have so much freedom than compared to high school. So I sorry mom, I skipped a lot of classes, and that wasn't very good for my grade.
Mhm.
And I took a couple kin classes, and I for some reason I thought I would like it, but I just didn't. Like I just like honestly didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, right? Like yes, it was still a bit interesting, but then I really thought to myself, I'm like, can I really like do this for the rest of my life? And I think a lot of people these days go through that, especially in first, second year, where you're figuring things out. And I think it's even harder on science students because they
Yep.
make you decide your major in first year, right?
Yeah, at the end
After
of
first
first
year.
year, we have to decide our major. For
Right. So
other faculties, it's after 2 years.
yeah, exactly. So I think for science students even harder because
Mhm.
science you're like, well, like the general like the common misconception of science is like, oh, everyone's going to go med school, right? If you're going
Yeah.
in science, you're going to med school. But there's so many people in sciences I know that like they still don't know what they're going to do. Like yes, they've chosen their major, but they're not sure.
Mhm.
And I think that's like it's pretty scary for a lot of them,
Yeah.
right? And after first year, I decided I was not going to continue to do kin. And second year came, and I was a bit lost in second year.
Mhm.
I was taking a bunch of different courses just to see what I liked and what interested me. And then I was pretty lost in second year. I got out of a relationship after first year, so second year I was kind of I was a bit lonely during that time, but that
Mm-hmm.
was a good time for me to reflect on myself and to work on myself, right? And then at the end of second year, for some reason, one day I was just praying, and then I was like, wait, like I've always wanted to be a pilot as a kid. Like, why don't I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I started looking into piloting school here, and they're quite expensive. So I was like, how am I gonna afford this? Like, it's 100 to 200,000 for like to get your license, right? And then you have to,
Oh.
right, you have to accumulate your hours,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to get into a company. Well, no, you have to accumulate your hours either through like flying by yourself, which is also expensive, or you teach at like a flight school.
Yeah.
You accumulate hours as a flight instructor, right? And you accumulate hours there, and then you maybe get into a medium-sized airline company. You work there, and but to be honest, the North American airlines, they don't pay the pilots very well, because I know starting is around like, I'd say like 40, 50 a
Mm-hmm.
year, and goes up 60, 70. But yes, if you go to the more major airlines, especially in the States like Delta, American Airlines, you do make a lot more. But then just having that thought of, how am I going to pay off these student debts, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I can't afford that. So then my dad, he's actually a pilot too, but he works in Asia. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll go back to Asia. And I know in Asia, a lot of pilots have more respect, and they do get paid a lot, like drastically better than
Mm-hmm.
pilots here for some reason. And then I was like, okay. So I started looking into different companies, and they actually have this thing where you apply as a university grad, and you basically do a bunch of different tests, like interviews with them. If you get in, they send you to school in the States
Oh,
for, right. So they pay for it. You don't have to pay
nice.
anything,
Yeah, it's
right?
kind of like the
You
army paying people to go to med school here.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
right. And I was like, whoa, that's a good deal. But of course, it's hard to get into. But
Mm-hmm.
they pay for your 1 year of school in the States. So all your living expenses, food, everything, they cover that. And after that 1 year, you go back to Asia, wherever the base is, and you do another 1 year training with the company. So doing all the simulators, doing all like flying with the actual pilots, right? That for a year, and after that, you do another test for you to actually become a pilot, and then you start flying, and then like the starting salary is much better than here.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's what I'm currently going for. So right now I'm actually doing sociology, because in arts there's not much else you can do, to be honest. And sociology is, I think personally, one of the like things that interested me more,
Mm-hmm.
because psychology was too hard, and I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's where I'm at now. I'm just finishing up going into my last year at
Yeah.
university.
That's
Yeah.
nuts. I mean, I love that story just because it kind of just shows like a lot of people I know who just get into university that that was their whole goal in life, and now they're at
Yeah.
university and they don't really know what they want to do. So a lot of them are really scared of never being
Right.
able to find out what they're passionate about, what kind of career they want. So I really just love that story because it just shows like after taking time and for some people like you to pray about it, how you can really find out where you want to go career
Hmm.
wise, which I really like. Just because, I mean, for me, I went into university already knowing what kind of career, in a sense, I wanted to go
Yeah.
into, right? Like, I went in wanting to go into physics because since about grade 11, I really enjoyed astrophysics and astronomy
Hmm.
through a few uh, instances in my life where one of the reasons I decided to go into it is because I remember going to uh, Hawaii and then going to the observatories up there and just
Hmm.
looking out at the stars and just really for the first time ever kind of really being fascinated by the beauty of space, like seeing the stars up there where they're just so clear in the sky is just like
Yeah.
how have I never like looked at this and like really admired the beauty that it is, and it kind of made me want to go more into it. And then other stuff like
Hmm.
the TV show Big Bang Theory it caused me to want to
Yeah.
go into it, just because I wanted to understand what they're talking about in that show. So, and
Did you
yeah,
see?
so
Are you watching SpaceX? Space Force? Not SpaceX. Space
I
Force.
watched Space Force. Yeah, I finished it in a day.
Is it
I
good?
loved it.
I was considering watching it.
I loved it. Like, if you go in expecting it to be exactly like The Office, you're gonna be let down because it's the same
Mm,
creators and everything.
right.
But
Right.
like, if you go in just looking at it as a new kind of show, I thought it was great. I thought the character development was amazing, and just
Hmm.
how you see the characters progress, I thought that was great. But yeah, I mean, back to like just kind of my experience. Like, I've never had to, I guess, worry too much in university what my career
Hmm.
goal is. But I've always thought of myself as a minority there because I see so many people, especially in
Yeah.
sciences, who are just like, I want to go to med school, but then a year into it, they're like, did I want to go into med school, or did I
Yeah.
just do it
Maybe not.
because that's what either my parents wanted, or that's kind of what I wanted, was a secure job that I knew would
Hmm.
pay well.
Yeah.
So then they kind of go back and they're like, now I'm in sciences. I have no idea what I want to do, no idea what
Right.
kind of degree I want to do. And
Right.
it's stressful for a lot of people, but it's really awesome just hearing the stories of people being able to find out what they're passionate about in that sense.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of anxiety that does happen among university students that I wasn't expecting. So whenever I do talk to like some of my high school friends, I'm asking like what they want to do, right? And
Hmm.
what they want to study when they go to post secondary. And the majority of them go like, oh, like I want to do solder. I want to do what else can you do? I want to do sciences, right?
Hmm.
Just kind of very general. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, like maybe you should go into this with like a very open mind. I think that's one of the mistakes I made, where I was very stubborn and fixed on what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
And then when I wasn't able to get that, and when my interests changed, because people change over time, right? I was very discouraged. I was like, oh, like am I cut out for this? Like, is this like am I good enough to do this? So
Hmm.
I recommend a lot of like high school students who are going to university to go into an open mind that anything can change at any time,
Yeah.
and your perspectives on things are gonna change, right? Like say for Eric for example, he's doing business, right? Oh, actually no, before he was going to go into arts.
Yeah. He wanted to go
he,
into fine arts,
right,
like more like with photography and everything.
yeah, he wanted to go into fine arts in like some New York or East Coast,
Hmm.
and then he did business, and then I remember I talked to him, and he was on like doing consulting, doing finance, doing all of these things, right? But then at the end he came to healthcare, right? He wanted to do business in healthcare, consulting still, but
Hmm.
um it's just having an open mind and not being fixed on what
Yeah.
you think you're like. Don't limit yourself to that little
Yeah.
circle, right?
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Just don't
think.
be stubborn. I mean, it's the same with me as well. Like, even though I haven't decided to switch degrees because I've been set on physics, my ideas of
Mm,
what to do after my degree have really changed. Because going into physics, I was just like, I want to do physics and then I want to go into research. That's pretty much like every
mm,
student in physics. But as like my years in the degree have gone on, my ideas around research have kind of changed. I've been thinking, do I want to be doing research a lot? A lot of it is just kind of being stuck behind a computer looking at data, and
yeah,
I don't
there's
know if that's really for
some
me.
people like it, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, some people do. And it's still something I want to keep open because I haven't had enough experience with it
exactly, yeah,
to decide
right,
if I don't want to go for it. But I've been looking
sure.
at all these other different possibilities, especially more specifically education route.
Mm-hmm.
Um, look, just because I now have that experience working at Science World as one of my
Yeah,
jobs, and being able to educate kids about science has been a blast, especially
you
when
probably had a great time.
oh, I had a blast working there,
Yeah,
and I
I
miss it
bet.
so much because it's different from that like high school, elementary school teaching there, especially is because you have all these different experiments you can do. You have all these different methods of delivering information to these kids, either through center stage shows, through films,
Mm-hmm.
just
Right.
through interactions with them and different exhibits. And it's so much fun, and it's kind of made me realize I might want to go and do something like that, not go and become a high school teacher, but maybe do
Mm-hmm.
something where I have more freedom with education because it is a lot of fun. And then there's also been
Yeah.
instances where I've been considering going into government work, since you need more people educated in sciences in government for some
Mm-hmm.
policy making, I think. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, so I've been just considering all these things and trying to keep as much open because, yeah, I mean, you're not going to be the same person when you graduate from university as you were when you went into university.
Exactly.
I mean, when you went into university, you're the most not I'm blanking on the word. Going into university, you're basically the most immature person you're ever
Mm,
going to be, and then
right.
at the end, you're really going to see a huge maturity change.
Yeah,
So,
but then that's the thing though, right? Because you're leaving high school
mhm.
and you're like the top of the school. You
Yeah.
think you're mature. You're like, oh, I'm an adult now. I'm in university. But then you get to university and you go all the way down to the bottom, and then you're like, you think you know it, but
Hmm.
you kind of question yourself. And then when things don't go your way, it's kind of discouraging. You kind of just, uh, I don't know. I've seen a lot of people struggle too.
Yeah. I mean, I still think the biggest maturity gap or change anyone ever has is between their first and second year. So the
Mm,
beginning of their first year to the beginning of their second year, you notice a huge change in maturity. I mean, I've noticed it especially living on
hmm.
res, being
Oh yeah,
surrounded by
yeah, yeah,
first
yeah,
years. So
yeah.
for 3 years, I've been living with first years, and you kind of just see the change between them at the beginning and them at the end, and it's a really cool change, and you recognize the change in yourself as well. I mean, I was pretty, like most people, I was pretty immature first year.
Yeah, I think if you look at yourself, look back on yourself in like grade
Hmm.
12 versus now, it's a
Yeah.
huge change, right?
Oh man,
And
I look at myself in grade 12. I like, why did I do some of the things?
right,
Oh, I
same. I
looked so
likewise.
stupid. And yeah.
But it's just crazy. I was just thinking the other day because I was looking at my course planning because my
Hmm.
course registration day was coming up soon, and I was like, and then I had so many emails about from UBC like, oh, make sure you're on track to graduation, fourth year, blah 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 blah, all these
Hmm.
things, right? And it's like, wow, like I really did 3 years already, like at UBC,
Yeah.
like I think that went by faster than high school, in my opinion. But I don't know how university that transition from high school to university was for you, because if you guys didn't know,
Hmm.
I didn't really get close with Ryan until I think university.
We were, I think grade 12 is when we started getting closer together,
Yeah, but
especially
like
with
we were
like
kind
the
of
basketball trips, but definitely first year's where we
a
were.
lot more, right?
Yeah.
Because in high school we didn't hang on the same friend group.
No,
We
yeah.
didn't. The only time where we would see each other was basketball,
And class,
and maybe like, yeah, in
a
class,
couple classes. Yeah.
maybe like walking around during break or something. But
Hmm.
we never actually hung out. Yeah, we never hung out, right?
We never hung out just the two of us, or even with like a small group of people
Yeah,
outside
we
of
never did.
class, outside of school. No, we didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So Ryan and I got closer in uh, end of grade 12, for grade 12 and first year.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah, it's so funny how that kind of works out, right? How it's like
Yeah,
usually you're supposed to grow apart from people in high school, all
right.
right, when you get to
But then for
university.
some
But for
reason we
us,
got
we actually
closer.
got closer together, which is really cool. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, now I was just talking to you about earlier, um basketball,
Hmm.
about our basketball team, right? So Ryan and I played on the same basketball team since grade 8 till grade 12. So we played every single year. We've
Yeah.
grown together in basketball. Um, yeah, what are some of your
I
experiences,
mean,
Ryan?
oh man, basketball is such a funny journey. It is really funny how the ups and downs happened with that. Like, definitely, I would say peak basketball was grade 11. I felt like we had a
Yeah.
strong team, strong community, and everything. And then for some reason in grade 12, I just felt like that kind of community was leaving us.
Mm,
Um, Everyone, I think, started focusing on themselves instead of the team a little bit more. And I don't want to
yeah.
name names or anything. And I think this was a problem for the entire team. I'm not going to leave me out of it either, because I
Oh
think
yeah.
my reaction to some of it was distancing myself from the team, which
Hmm.
in I look back and I'm like, maybe that wasn't the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, I remember you though all the time on the team, and you're always just level-headed. You're always a calm guy. I didn't see you get mad really on the court at all, and it was just awesome, being able to see, so, like our team, of course, a lot of high school boys was pretty immature, but I
Yeah.
really appreciated like just seeing you all the time in that group.
Yeah. Basketball was yeah, I agree with you. Grade 11 was our peak.
Yeah.
Um our For those who don't know, we go to East London. We went to
Mhm.
East London, and we got to the provincial finals, and we lost in the finals in our grade
Oof.
11 year
Yeah.
by 7 points, I think.
It wasn't a lot.
Wasn't a huge margin, but
Yeah.
um,
I remember it was like close enough that in the last minute we knew there was a chance for us to come back and win it. So it wasn't a lot
we
of
were up.
points. Were we
We
up
were
in the
up.
last minute?
We were up 67 to 64.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
actually, I don't know if that's the score. I just made that up, but it's around there. I was trying to sound cool there, but I'm pretty sure it's 67, 64
64.
around there, or 67, 70.
Yeah.
It was Nigel. He hit a three, and then this guy on the other team called Hunter Hughes came down and hit a three
Mhm.
and tied the game, and there was a timeout, and then we came back, and I was subbed out in the last minute. Yeah, I don't know why, but
Mhm.
it's for the team. And then they came back and we lost, and it was a. I think we were all pretty sad. I think
We're I
I
don't
saw you
think
crying
there's
too,
any of us not crying. I
right?
think everyone
Because
was crying in the
because
locker room
the
after
thing
that.
for us, for our team especially, is it's the same group of guys playing together since grade 8,
Pretty
and we've
much.
we've made it to provincials every single year. We've got, what did we get in grade 8? Like 10th place,
We got
15th,
11th. So we went
11th.
from 11th
Mm-hmm.
to 5th place to 4th
Fourth.
place and then to 2nd place in grade 11.
Right. So it's always been building up to this
Hmm.
moment, right? And it was just really, it was just really sad, like seeing everyone down. I think that was one of
Yeah.
my my saddest moments in high school, because
Hmm.
it's like the group of guys that, like you like all the hours you spend in practice, right? Like
Yeah.
although you don't think much of it, they do like affect you a lot, and it's that moment where you realize it's over, and it's like, wow, like we really lost.
Hmm.
And like it might not seem like a lot to some of the people listening or watching this, but in the moment it was pretty sad. But if I look back on it, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. No, I was bummed out. I mean, I was yelling so much that game, and
Oh
then
yeah.
just had my voice was pretty much gone at the end. I was just super bummed.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is what we got. We still got a medal,
yeah.
but it says 3A on the back. It's just a provincial one, but this is all we got for second
Yeah.
place.
But
Apparently first place you get a ring or something.
yeah, I remember everyone wanted that ring. But
Oh
you know what?
yeah.
Still, what an experience that not a lot of people get to have. I mean, I still look back fondly on that provincial final nowadays, like thinking about the huge crowds we had, the
That
stadium
was,
that we got to play in, because not a lot of high school students get to play in stadiums that big, the Langley
yeah,
Event Center. And
yeah.
yeah, just remembering everyone who came out to support us. They brought the mascot out for us and
Hmm.
everything. Sadly, Southridge, the team we were up against, had a bit more of a fan base come with them, but they also lived closer. So
Southridge. Yeah, I don't like that school. Yeah, but all the guys, well, not all the guys, but some guys, like on our team, Ahmed, Nigel.
mhm.
Those are guys like I've known Ahmed since grade 1. I've been playing basketball with him since grade 1, right?
Yeah,
And Nigel I've known since grade 3, right? We were in the same school, so we played basketball growing up, and it was like it kind of felt like everything was all like put in place for this moment,
mhm.
and then we lost, and it's just
Yeah,
that, because I feel like everyone had that sort of they had this responsibility, saying, oh, like I didn't do enough, or something.
yeah.
But that's how I felt, at least. Like I felt like I didn't do enough for the team to win. Yeah,
No,
it was
man,
just
don't
it
worry
was
about
just
that.
sad.
You've been there so much for the team.
It was just sad, Ryan.
Yeah,
It was a sad time.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
then
I remember in grade 12, that was an interesting year, but
Yeah.
we had a couple games, a couple controversial events
Hmm.
um, within the team, also with other teams. And I remember we had winter formal this one night, and it was a snowy day,
Yeah.
and for some reason our coach set up this game with St. Thomas More. It was just an exhibition game.
Yeah.
It was just at Langara, and they wanted to televise it for some reason, and they just wanted us to play for I don't remember what reason, but none of us wanted to play. It was snowy. We had to play, shower at Langara, and then drive down to Winter Formal, being like 1 or 2 hours late, and none of us wanted it. And I remember this guy. Why don't you
Yeah.
explain it?
I mean, like I said, I was the bench warmer on the team a lot. And when I heard about this game, and I was thinking, hold up, I uh, made not a proposal really, but it was a wonderful proposal. I made that for someone. I already organized a limo with my friends, and I
Oh,
found
I
out
didn't know this. I didn't know this.
yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah,
found out I wasn't going to be able to go on the limo with them, and I was just like, I was chapped. So what I did is I went up to our coach. I was just like, listen, it's an exhibition game. It's not even for points. And I don't want to miss my winter formal because it's something I'm definitely going to fondly look back on
fair enough.
with all my friends in grade 12. So I was just like, I don't think I can go to the game. And he understood. I mean, he also knew like I wasn't probably going to play.
Mm, yeah,
So I decided, yeah, to go to winter formal and everything. But I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed me gone. I know like the one thing that I always did bring to the team was definitely the energy on the bench to
yeah.
make sure I was hyping everyone up.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't have the luxury like Ryan to
Yeah.
leave the game because I really wanted to. But you know what? I don't know if you know this, but it was really funny. At our game, we were like the whole time we just weren't in the game, right? Because we were just
Yeah.
all talking about winter formal. And then I think in about the second or third quarter, um, Ahmed got into this fight with
I heard about that. Yeah.
one of the guys, right? And he put him in a headlock and like was about to throw him on the ground, and the ref split him up, and then he ejected Ahmed, and then Ahmed's he's not even mad, right?
Yeah.
He just went to grab his bag, and it's just I remember so clear. He turns around and he smiles at all of us, and he's like, "Good luck, guys," and he's like, because he's the first one that gets to shower by himself, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have to share like the shower with all the other guys, and then he can take his time,
Yeah.
and we're all just there like, oh, like I should have done that. It should have been me. But yeah, that was the first time Ryan wasn't there for
Oh
one of our
yeah, yeah.
games. The
The
second
shame
time I
keeps
think was
coming.
second time was a bit more important. Yeah, the second time was more
Oh.
important. This is in grade 12,
Yeah.
and yes, we made it to provincials again, and unfortunately, we have this thing at Season London called Geo Trip, and everyone likes to go. It's kind of like a trip for the grads to go with Mr. Allen and a bunch of nice teachers down to around California, yeah, Oregon, just for hiking. You go to Vegas. It's a nice
Yeah.
trip, right? And I really wanted to go, but unfortunately, provincials was at the same time as the Geo Trip, and Ryan was having this dilemma. I don't know if he had a dilemma, but
Yeah.
he had this choice, right? Of should I go to the provincials or should I go to Geo Trip?
Yeah.
And I was like, you should go to the Geo Trip.
Yeah.
He's like, you should go for me because I really want to go, but I can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. Like, what happened was I knew at the beginning of the year provincials and GeoTrip at the same time. So I was just like, even though I was looking forward to GeoTrip, I didn't sign up for it at the beginning because I knew provincials was going to happen and everything. And I was hoping our team would be in the same place as it was in previous years. But then, kind of as the year progressed, seeing just how the team had changed in grade 12, how I didn't really feel like we were as much of a team and I wasn't
Hmm.
enjoying myself as much. I was
Yeah.
kind of really bummed out that I didn't think about taking Geo Trip as an opportunity. And then 2 weeks before provincials, before Geo Trip, um, our teacher Mr. Allen, who organizes the trip, he comes up to me and he says, "Hey Ryan, I was talking with some of your friends. They have a extra space in their room because someone left, which was my friend Dion.
Oh,
Dion's
I
totally
remember
bummed
this.
about that. And Dion, who was a couple of podcasts back, he was convinced to not go on the geo trip by our friend Emilio, and then
Yeah,
Emilio decided to go on the geo
went.
trip anyways, and then Dion was super bummed, but he already uh,
Took us
decided to quit
left.
and not
Yeah.
go. So there was an extra space in the room with my friends, and they talked to Mr. Allen. They're like, "Yo, we have this extra space. Can we bring Ryan?" And Mr. Allen decided to talk to me. I was completely in the unknown about this, and as soon as I got that option, I was in this huge state of turmoil. I was just like, frick, what do I want to do? Because I want to go on Geo Trip. I know I'll love it, but I also made a commitment to my team and everything.
Hmm.
But then I was kind of trying to weigh everything like, how did I feel about the team this year? And would I would this be a better experience and a bigger learning experience for me if I
Hmm.
went on the trip or if I decide not to go on the trip and go to provincials?
Yeah.
And I talked to both my parents, family, talked to the principal, I talked to our coach,
You
I
talked to
talked to
Mr.
Daniel.
Cadet?
Yeah, I did.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I
I didn't
did.
know that.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of people. I mean, I talked to some teachers too about it
Hmm.
just because I wanted everyone's opinion on it.
Right.
And it was awesome though. Like Daniel, you're definitely one of the opinions that really swayed me to taking it because one of my biggest worries was ditching the team and then not having the team, I guess, in a sense, respect me anymore.
Yeah.
But, you telling me, go for it, do it, live that experience really
Why
helped me
not?
decide to take it. So, yeah, I ended up going on the trip and not to provincials. I still watched provincials from the trip.
Yeah, I
And
know.
yeah, but sadly, it ended pretty quickly for us.
Yeah. Grade 12 provincials didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was after each game, I would look at Instagram or Snapchat, whatever we used back then,
Hmm.
and I would see a bunch of stories of just everyone at Geo Trip, and I was like, oh, I wish I was there, because
Yeah.
I've been wanting to go on Geo Trip since grade 9, because I knew about Geo Trip because I was
Yeah.
in Mr. Allen's class, and he always talked about Geo Trip, and I've been wanting to go since grade 9. And then I remember when we found out provincial days, I asked Mr. Allen, I was like, hey, could we like, maybe move it, like
Yeah.
postpone it 2 days and just like push it back a bit so I can go. And he's like, no, like that's not gonna happen. And I was
Hmm.
really bummed out, but no, well, it happened for a reason. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe. But yeah, you guys seem like you had a lot of fun. If you haven't checked out
Ah,
Ryan's Geo Trip vlog, make sure to check it out on his YouTube channel.
yeah. I mean, I always get a lot of views each year because the next set of grads are going on
They
geo
want to
trips, so they
watch.
want to watch and see what the experience is like. And yeah, it was a ton of fun. And yeah, man, I wish you were there. But you know
I
what?
wish I was there too.
In the future, we'll definitely try and go on some guys trips and whatnot
Hmm.
and get
You know,
those kinds of experiences.
I was actually on Facebook the other day, and I was just looking at a bunch of our old Facebook groups,
Hmm.
and I saw Spy versus Spy.
Oh
You
no.
remember that group? And then
Yeah.
we had a nice picture of like the school map and what was the
Hmm.
boundaries. And then I was just reflecting back on high school and just thinking how easy high school was and how much fun it was compared to
Especially
it's
grade 12.
still fun now, especially grade 12, right?
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I finished all my classes already, so
Hmm.
I was just having a, I was just messing around in grade 12, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, for those of you who don't know, Spy for Spy is this game where everyone puts some money in for this big prize for the winner, and you'll get assigned a target each week. And
Yeah.
your goal is to shoot that target with a water gun. And then as soon as you kill them, you get their target. But also, someone has you as a target, and it's random, and no one knows who has each other unless you start telling each other about it, who your targets are. So that was a big like
Hmm.
grad um thing for us to do. I mean, did you play? Because you helped organize, right? So did you
I
play?
I organized it. I played. I died on like the first few days or
Oh
something
yeah.
because I was still at ultimate practice, but someone came and shot me. But I was like, okay, I'm not gonna argue.
I got shot at
Um,
ultimate practice too, or a game.
right. right? It was unfair. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever. I'm not gonna argue with you. Yeah.
Hmm.
But I helped organize afterwards. So I was like
Yeah.
the immunities things, like immunities were like things that you could do to make sure that you were immune. So if someone shot you, like if you were like if immunity was say we're like having a mustache, drawing a mustache on your face,
Hmm.
right? If you had that, someone shot you, you wouldn't be dead. And then you would also know who's trying to kill you, right?
Yeah.
And there was just a lot of backstabbing, a lot of
There
a
was a
lot of
ton of backstabbing.
a lot of just a lot of planning. Because I remember
Yeah.
I went to Erica's house, to
Hmm.
Erica Chan, and I was with Andy because Andy was trying to kill Erica or
Hmm.
kill Susan. I don't remember. But then we wait because Andy's waited outside Erica's house one day for like 3 hours, but then he didn't see her. Came back the other day, and then he called me, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna head over. And then I was waiting for him, and then apparently Erica drove all the way into her house, into the garage, and
Into
then
the
told
garage.
Susan to walk out and check
Yeah.
around the house. And then
Mhm.
Erica left, and then Andy came in and just shot her, like jumped on her car
Oh
and shot
man.
her. Like that's how serious Spy versus Spy was for
I
us.
mean, I hid in the trunk of someone's car. Do
Yeah,
you remember this
I,
story?
I
Yeah.
heard,
So,
I heard that.
this was the very first day I remember. I was the first person to get their target, but I remember I had Ipti, and I knew Ipti had a spare with Colin. And during this time, you guys had told everyone that the immunity item would be a watermelon. So if you had a bigger watermelon than the person who shoots you, you're fine, you're safe. But
Hmm.
Ipti didn't have a watermelon, so she and Colin were during their spare
Spare. Went to get
decided
food.
to go over to the market to get a watermelon. And Colin, what he did is he put me in the trunk of his car. And I didn't have a spare. This is during geography class and
Yeah.
everything, but it was at the end of grade 12, and I was just like, you know what? I'm okay skipping this class right now just to get my target. So I'm in the trunk and everything. Uh, it's one of the my heart was beating, one of the weirdest moments of my life. I was just thinking about what was going to happen, and we get to the market. Colin opens his trunk. I jump out, shoot Ipti, and I've never seen her more mad. She walks home. She doesn't want to be in the car on the ride back.
I heard.
Yeah, she did not like it, and because of that, other her friends like Eclipse decided to help get me out. So I remember going to church for youth group one
Hmm.
night, and
Hmm.
then Eclipse steals my watermelon, and from that moment, I realized someone was outside ready to shoot me. So I run down the hall. I see to my left Ethan Yap, who has
Yeah.
me, and he sees me, and he's chasing me, and I lock myself in a Sunday school room, and it was one of the funniest moments ever. I hopped out of the window from the Sunday school room, and I'm just
Yeah.
hopping through people's yards, like 5 people's
Really?
yards,
I
just
did
so I
not
could
know
get
this.
away. Yeah, yeah. So I hopped fences and everything, and I made it eventually to 7-Eleven where I felt safe, and I got picked up. But yeah,
Wow.
it was a
I
crazy.
didn't know this story.
My adrenaline was pumping, and then I got out like a week later from someone shooting me at Ultimate.
Yeah, I think Spy versus Spy was one of the most fun grad things that we did together.
Yeah,
Because everyone put in like $2 or so. I remember I think it's Andy, Haley, Erica or something. They all won at the end, and
Colin
they
got
split it.
most kills. I remember Colin won for most
Yeah,
kills. And I
yeah.
think Andy split, yeah, the prize with Haley, I
Andy
think.
split with Haley, I believe, because
Yeah.
I was there for the last kill.
Hmm.
But yeah, Spy versus Spy was a fun time.
Yeah. I mean, some of my grad events were fun. Also remember Kidnap the Grads?
Oh, Kidnap the Grads, I already knew it was coming.
Yeah,
I already,
everyone knew it was coming. I mean, I had Anthony sleep over at my house because we knew we were going to get kidnapped, but
who
because he
kidnapped you?
lives in Surrey, he wasn't going to
Right.
be able to get kidnapped. So he just
Yeah.
ended up sleeping over at my house that night so he could get kidnapped.
Who kidnapped you guys?
Kaylee and Sydney.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah, it was a weird experience for me. I was just in bed, and then because I'm a light sleeper,
Yeah.
and then once the door like my front door opened, I was like, oh, like here we go.
Hmm.
And I hear Haley and Sam walking up. I'm like, okay. And then there was me, Craig, and Jonah in the back of the car. But yeah, it was fun. It was just like we got to skip a bit of class, I think. So that was
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. It was a good time and just like a good memory. And Yeah, just all those grad events were really awesome and fun. And I mean, you put on one of the best grad events, which was the lip dub. Like you organized that entire thing,
Uh,
and that was great. That was fun.
lip dub. You helped me with the lip dub.
Only a little bit. Yeah,
You
where I
helped me
could.
with the behind, not the behind the scenes,
Path, really.
the path, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, lip dub was for those who don't know what lip dub is at least for Season London history, it's where all the grads come together, lay lip dub to a song
Hmm.
while kind of like shooting like a music video vibe around the school, and it's kind of just it's kind of like a grad present in a way, but it's just a grad um ritual. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it, a ritual? I
It
don't know.
annual lip dub, like it's
Annual
annual
grad
event.
thing to do, right? And
Hmm.
yeah, and me and Melody, we planned this thing for a while, and it turned out pretty good. So
Yeah.
I was pretty happy about
I
that.
thought we had a really good one. I mean, there are some other lip dub. I mean, there was one in 2015 that just went off. I remember like they had
Yeah,
so much in it. But I thought we had a
yeah.
really good one. And yeah, it was really great you put that together. I felt bad you guys couldn't be in it as much, like not until the end.
Oh, it's okay. I didn't really care to be in it. I just
Yeah.
wanted y'all to have a good time.
Yeah. Well, for someone who loves being in the spotlight, I loved it.
Yeah, Ryan had a solo duet slash with
Yeah.
Anthony.
Yeah.
If you guys want to check
where
it
we
out, search
where we
up
end up
Season
taking our
11 Lift
shirts
Up.
off because once again, grade 12, immature, wasn't
Yeah,
second year yet.
I don't know if you went to our school, you can count the number of, you can't even count the number of times Ryan has taken off his shirt.
I think yeah, it
Especially,
became like a cunning running joke almost.
yeah,
Yeah, because we
Ryan.
also had me take my shirt off for another video that we made, which was for the Shark Idol or not Shark Idol, sorry, Shark Cup video,
Our
which
cup.
is
Oh
uh,
yeah,
yeah. So the Shark Cup video is where anyone who's been nominated for Shark Cup, which is like basically the athlete of not the year, but like all 5 years, while being at Steve's in London, they all get together and make a fun promotional video for the cup, basically for our big ceremony. And we based ours around Hot Tub Time Machine. And there was one point where I have to take my shirt off and use it as a bandage. I think I'm
it was you and I.
on you. Yeah, it was with you.
It was some, because we did different themes, and then that
Yeah.
certain scene was Wolverine, I think,
Yeah, it was
or was it?
Wolverine. Yeah.
It
So
was
because we did Hot
Logan.
Tub Time
Logan.
Machine. Yeah, Logan.
Yeah,
We did Hot Tub Time Machine, but instead of going through time, we went through like different movies and TV shows.
yeah. So I got stabbed by Mr. Verve, and Ryan with it took off his shirt because he's a first
Hmm.
aid kind of guy, and he yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good video.
Man, I
Ryan and
should
I
go
should.
back and watch that video.
I think I watched it like a couple months ago.
Really?
Yeah,
There's
because
some in.
Ryan,
Go ahead.
we did another video, the prom video.
Oh yeah, the prom video too.
Yeah, so Ryan and I did this little music video lift up thing for our prom dates, and we
Hmm.
played it together in geo class, and it was I think it turned out pretty good. But watching like grade 12,
Hmm.
looking back now, it was a bit cringy, but
Yeah.
I think it's all right.
I mean, most prom proposals are cringy. I mean, for winter formal, we both did dance routines for our
Oh
proposals there.
yeah,
Yeah.
see, there's
Yours
so many
was
things in high school I don't remember.
yeah. You guys did
Like
Mean Girls though, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I remember seeing the
and
Mean Girls one. Yeah.
like like did you know I was the MC for Breakfast with Santa?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I didn't know that until
You didn't
I
know?
saw I forgot.
Oh
Like I didn't
shit.
remember. I was looking through my Google Docs. I was cleaning my drive up, and then I saw the script for Breakfast with Santa, and I
Mhm.
was like, did I do this? Like I don't remember because so many things happened in high school.
Yeah.
High school grade, especially grade 12. Grade 12
Hmm.
was a blur. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember your dance though, with in the gingerbread costumes, which I thought was just hilarious and it was super funny.
Yeah, Ryan took his dance in a different approach. He did
Yeah.
did a kind of like Mike kind of approach.
Magic Mike. Yeah.
Magic Mike, not like Mike. That's a different
Yeah.
movie. Magic Mike, and yeah,
Yeah. It
good.
was. You
I
know
was
what?
just glad that we were before you guys, so we didn't seem like we're like the weird ones. No, we didn't seem like we were copying you guys, right? So we're
Oh
like,
no.
so
Yeah.
I was like, we have to be before Ryan and them,
Yeah.
so we don't. We're like we're not the second group
Mhm.
dancing.
Well,
Yeah, but
yeah. I mean, it was so funny because we knew our proposal was going to be Magic Mike, and we knew it was going to be a little bit out there,
Rowdy. Yeah.
rowdy in a sense, and so did a lot of other people running the event. And by
Mhm.
chance, there was this emergency during the event where all the admin had to go to like this first aid thing. Um, so
Mhm.
the admin would not have been okay with us doing this dance because we had to actually show them the dance a week earlier, and we took a few things out of the dance just so they wouldn't
Why
say
did you
no.
guys did they ask you to show them the
They
dance
did
or?
ask us because they
Oh, that
heard,
was bad. That's bad then.
yeah,
If they
because they
didn't ask
heard,
us.
yeah. So we talked about it in our small group. We're like, okay, we're gonna get rid of this part and this part and this part while we're showing them, and then we'll bring it back when we do the actual dance.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's
Yeah.
grade 12 mentality. So
And then,
immature, but I love it.
so we were gonna do it either way with the admin there or not. But as soon as the
Right.
admin left, Steven, who was running the
Steven
event,
Joe. Yeah.
yeah, he came up to us like, "We're moving you up. The admin are gone. You guys are going on now." We're just like, "All right, let's do it." And yeah, it was just fun. We
Oh
had
yeah.
a great Magic Mike performance with some chairs and some
Some
funny dance
shirts
moves
off
and
and
shirts
some
off,
some some
tarps off.
skin
Hmm.
exposed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
You
wrote
have a video?
their
You should post a
names on
video of
our.
it.
The video's on my Facebook.
You go check it out, guys.
Yeah, go check out my Facebook. But yeah, and then I remember also doing a proposal with Colin where we had a lightsaber battle in,
That was nice.
yeah,
That was
the
in the
Williams Lounge.
Williams Lounge, right?
Yeah,
I was impressed by that.
yeah, that
That
was
was
fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
Who
so
did you ask?
I didn't ask anyone. That
That was
was
for Colin.
Colin's.
For
So the
Rachel?
whole, yeah, for Rachel. So the joke
Right.
was I was gonna propose to Rachel,
Yeah.
and then Colin is gonna came out from the back with flowers in his hand, and he was just like, "Oh, what's going on? How could you do this to me? I thought this was my proposal." I'm like, "No, man, I got here first. Snooze, you lose." And so then he
Oh,
brings out his lightsaber. I bring out my
right.
lightsaber, and we have this huge battle. In the end, he kills me and stuff, and he gets to propose to Rachel and
Mm,
everything. And it was
that's
funny
nice.
because I remember hearing during this whole thing, the person I was going to propose to later, Kaylee, was
Hmm.
actually kind of chapped that when she saw me initially propose to Rachel, because she knew I was going to ask her and stuff because we were super
Yeah.
close and everything. So she
Yeah.
knew, but then
That's funny.
yeah, apparently she wasn't happy with that at the
That's
beginning.
good.
But yeah,
Well, that made our proposal even better then.
it did.
Wait, was
I
that
love
after or before?
it was
That was
before.
before.
That was
Rachel was
before.
before. So that's
Yeah,
good
that's
then.
what
She
made it
didn't.
so good. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that because I remember I was about to leave school and I walked. There was a huge crowd
Hmm.
by the Williams Lounge, and I thought there was some fight or something right in front of the office. And then I walk over and I see Ryan with the lightsaber. I'm like, oh, here we go, here we go again. And I see
Yeah.
Colin like jump over, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
we're doing this.
That was fun to
I
do.
miss
I
high
mean,
school.
I love those things in high school where you're just like, you don't care if it's cringy, you don't care if you're embarrassed yourself, you're just having a
Mhm.
blast and putting yourself out there. Like it's just a blast, and I miss that a lot about high school, especially
You know what that
promposals.
reminds me of? You
What?
know what you and Colin doing that fight reminds me of? It reminds me of the the different fights they had in Community. The
Oh
show,
yeah,
all the food fights, like all these things that
paintball fights.
paintball fights they have it at the end of every season.
Yeah.
Those things
Oh man, I love
that was
that.
that must have been fun for you.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, looking back, I wish I knew about community a lot earlier on so I could have
Hmm.
planned some fun stuff for high school. Can you imagine if we instead for the grade 12s, instead of having like a 36-hour famine, which is where we
Hmm.
sleep over at the high school? I mean, it's a good cause, so I don't want to probably take
Oh,
away
I
from the good
forgot about
cause.
that too.
Yeah, but instead we had something like that where we all sleep over, but we make a huge pillow or blanket fort out of the school.
Yeah,
Would have been so much
that would
fun.
have been crazy.
Hmm.
Dude, Ryan, you're bringing so many memories back.
Right?
I forgot about 30-hour
Right?
famine. I forgot I was there.
Yeah, dude, 3 hour famines were like, those were fun. There was like,
Those were a bit weird.
they were a bit weird too.
Now thinking back was a bit weird because it was in time for you to go to school and
Hmm.
sleep, but there's other girls there and you're high school students, and
Oh
you know
man.
your hormones are a bit out of
Yeah.
sync, and
Oh man, I remember all those stories. I mean, I remember hanging out with some people before the fam, and they're people were just talking. There's gonna be girls there. Like, dude, what are we gonna do?
Someone said that?
Yeah. And like we're like, do we hang out with them? Do we make our own boys for it? Like, what are we gonna do? It was like so weird, and it's so like so kiddish and everything. It's so funny.
Yeah, like we had how many grad events do we have? We had grad skate,
Yeah, that was
grad
the first.
barbecue. What else do we have? Winter formal,
Mm-hmm.
boat
Boat
cruise,
cruise,
prom.
prom,
I
and
don't know
like
about you.
unofficial spy versus spy, kidnap the grads.
Exactly. But I don't know about you, but I had the most fun at prom and dry grad. So
That was
that
a
was
good
kind of
time.
like the complete package where you have a bit of, dinner, you have a bit of like
Mm-hmm.
grad high school fancy kind of, you're dressed up, and then you go back to how you usually are, and you have like kind of like a party at school. And who wouldn't want to party at school? And I think
Yeah.
that year they did a really good job with dry grad, all the food, all the lights, all the decoration. And apparently the DJ was Manila Gray.
Really?
Did you know that?
No. I
Our
knew
DJ
I knew the
was
DJ was friends with Killy though. Did you hear
yeah,
about that
our
story?
DJ. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard it,
so
but I didn't really know Killy back then, so I was like, okay,
yeah.
whatever.
Neither did I. I only found out about him after that, but Killy, who's kind of like this, he's pretty popular. He's not like super popular, but he's a pretty popular rapper. And
Yeah.
before we got to our high school after prom for our dry after grad, Killy was there practicing with the DJ performing. And
Oh, really?
yeah, and I remember some of the parents asked if he wanted to stay to perform for us, and he was like, "Nah," and left. And
Nah. Was your mom
fair
planning
enough.
it too, or?
Yeah, my mom was helping plan it. She was there.
Yeah, cause I remember Craig's mom told me, she's like, oh yeah, this DJ's like, he's like a new artist and stuff, but he makes really nice music. I was like, oh, okay, like I didn't really care. And then
Mhm.
Aaron told me the other day that that was Manila Gray, and I was like, what?
That's
Like Manila Gray
nuts.
was at our dry grad, and he was the DJ. But yeah, anyways, I think they did a really good job planning the whole thing. All the
Hmm.
different there's different arcades, different activities.
I got into
That
gambling a
little
lot that day.
gambling, yeah. There's like a poker table, but I had and the hypnotist that came.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun at Dry Grad. I think Dry Grad was one of our best events because at
Yeah.
the very end, when it hits 5 a.m., that's when like it's over.
That
Like
was so sad.
right, I think it was more sad than basketball. Actually,
Yeah.
kind of same, but maybe a bit more sad than basketball. But it's yeah, like this is over. Like
You're like
it
your
doesn't
high school
register in your
experience is
head.
like done.
I'm not coming back here anymore.
Yeah.
This is literally my last day.
It's nuts.
It's 5 a.m. Everyone's tired, but everyone's crying,
Yeah.
and it was just a very emotional moment, I think.
It's not just like the end of like 5 years of high school. It's the end of 12, 13 years of being in the public education
Hmm.
sector where you've always been in. You've always been a student. You always knew you're right now your focus was just getting good grades. There was no you didn't think about a career. You thought a little
You
bit
didn't
about
have any
post
worries, and
secondary in like the last couple years. But yeah, you're just like, this is my life, and everything. It's the only thing I've ever known, really, and that's over. And it's just like when you think about that, you're
like
just like,
Thanos when he snapped,
wow,
it's like it's over.
yeah,
That's really the snap. And when
yeah.
we were all leaving, for me, it was more of just I'm never gonna see these people
Mhm.
again. Not every
10-year
day.
reunion.
Is it 10 years?
Every 10 years, there's a reunion. Yeah, I think the
They should
school puts
change
it on.
they should change it to 5 years. Why 10 years?
I would love that.
Like
That'd be great.
we should do our own 5 year reunion.
Yeah, we can control that. I mean, I
I
don't
mean,
know whose job it is.
make our own. We can make our own alumni group thing if we
Alumni Zoom
want.
call. Let's go.
Yeah, but for me, it was that moment where I'm like, I'm never gonna see these guys. Like, I'll see a couple of them at university, but
Mhm.
I'm not actually gonna be spending time with them.
Yeah.
And that's like a big shock to me because it's like everything you've known for the past, like you said, past 12, 13 years, it's all over and it's all gone just like that. And the
Hmm.
next day is Canada Day, and then you have your whole summer to spend, and you don't know
Yeah.
how to react to that.
Yeah, I remember going to Canada Day right after. It's like you get a couple hours of sleep and then you're off to Canada Day, hang out with your friends.
It was a weird time, but yeah,
Yeah,
I enjoyed high school.
yeah, I did
I
too.
think
I think
right.
we had some pretty good experiences. We had a good grade,
I
I
think our year
think.
was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen other years, especially some of the younger years who um yeah, they're just like they're a lot different from us. They're a little more into like vaping in the bathroom or like
Like
they're not all connected as we were. Like we had a lot of interconnections amongst all of the different groups, while they're a
exactly.
lot more separate now
Like
in the younger
I
grades.
talked to Adrian about this before because we were
Hmm.
comparing her school, her year versus our school, and I
Hmm.
was like, yeah, we had different friend groups, right? We all hung out separately, but then we always had a way of having everyone come together in these
Yeah.
events, right? And everyone knows each other and everyone is cool
Hmm.
with each other. Not like some other schools where there's like drama between people.
Yeah,
For us,
exactly.
everyone for some reason was just able to get together
To
during these
connect.
events and just have
Yeah,
a good time. Like that's what I
exactly.
really liked about our year.
Yeah, and it was so cool. I mean, backstory: Adrian is his girlfriend. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yes. So which school did she go to?
She went to McGee Secondary.
McGee. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just feel so lucky to have been able to go to Steve's in London, go into that year specifically. Like for me,
Likewise.
I wasn't supposed to go to Steve's in London. I really lived closer to the McMath catchment, but because I was so close to Steve's in London catchment, I kind of had a choice, and I was just like, yeah, I don't want to go to McMath. A few reasons I didn't want to go to McMath was I kind of wanted to get a different experience than my elementary school, like
Yeah.
and to do that, I had to go to a school where not a lot of people from my elementary school were going.
Right.
Not dissing anyone from my elementary school. I mean, I've met up with a lot of people there or
Hmm.
run into them, and they're all really awesome now. And I mean, they've grown up and stuff. But yeah, there's some cases where I wasn't feeling as welcome there. Like I was bullied a little bit at the end of my elementary school year for being chubby and
Hmm.
stuff. So I was called fat a little bit, and yeah, I kind of just wanted to leave that and get a whole new experience. I'm so happy I went to Steve's in
Hmm.
London.
Sea London was a good school.
It was, yeah,
I had a good time.
same. Yeah. So speaking of though of you and Adrian, you guys have started a couples YouTube channel. I mean, you have 3 videos
Yeah.
so far, but all 3 videos are great. I love them
Thank you.
all. I mean, a lot of them are using my gear and everything,
Yeah. I
but
use all my video and recording equipment from Ryan because
yeah.
I don't have money. Well, I do, but I don't know if I'm ready to invest that
Yeah.
money into these
Yeah.
equipment yet because I've had a bad history of like just putting all my money into one thing and just not using
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
So I was a bit cautious about this, but yeah,
Yeah. Tell us more about it.
we we made a YouTube channel. So my girlfriend's name is Adrian. So our YouTube channel's name is called Daniel and Adrian. I wanted to come up with
Super
a much
original.
better name, but she didn't want to. Um, a little backstory: she's she's very different from me, personality
Mhm.
wise. So I think for me, I think of myself as more of a I'm kind of out there. I'm not like extremely outgoing, but I can be.
Mhm.
And Adrian is like very shy, so she's only so comfortable when she's with me. When she's with her friends, she has like this shield that she has up, and she's like in this little her little
Mhm.
bubble, right? So this YouTube channel is just us together doing a lot of different challenges. Um, Basically, us wanting to do this YouTube channel came from one night we were just talking, and we are like, hey, we've always wanted the YouTube. I've done YouTube in the past before, just like my vlogs. Those didn't turn out great, but those were learning experiences. And then she's always wanted the YouTube, so I was like, oh, maybe we should do YouTube. We were in lockdown, so we had a lot of time, and yeah, so we just shot our first video of her doing putting makeup on me and asking and I was asking her a bunch of these like questions, and it was just a very generic introduction video,
Mhm.
kind of just yeah. And it's been great so far. I've learned a lot more about editing, because before I used iMovie as a kid, and those didn't turn out great. And I've been starting to experiment some more with Final Cut Pro, and yeah, I've gained so much respect for YouTubers
Mhm.
just by editing these 3 videos,
Right.
editing one video, just the amount of time they put in and the effort they put in just to editing alone, because filming is the easy part, right? The
Yeah.
editing is the hard part, to make something. Because if you film something really poorly and it's a very boring video, your editing can make it interesting.
Mhm.
That's why I've learned, and I have so much respect for YouTubers who do it for a living, and just yeah, I, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But Ryan had a YouTube video too, YouTube channel too. If you guys want to check it out.
I mean, some people could be watching this on my YouTube channel if they're watching the
Oh
video version.
right. You're posting
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Editing these is very interesting because it's not like a lot of the fun stuff where you're getting to put different effects or you're playing around with the clips. It's literally I'm listening to the podcast over again. And if there's any point in time there's something awkward or
Yeah.
there's a point in time where someone didn't like how they said something and wants it deleted, I'll cut it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just kind of listening to a conversation I already had for an hour. So it's not like I'm listening to a new conversation. It's listening to the
Right.
same conversation. So it's a lot different than when I'm editing my YouTube
A
videos,
vlog.
or a vlog. Like I definitely enjoy editing those a lot more. And I should get back into making some of
Yeah.
those if I can.
Yeah.
But they're just a fun way of kind of like showing everyone like the kind of person you are and have fun a little bit. It's a great excuse
Yeah,
to like go out and have fun.
I think the most important thing for Adrian and I right now is just we have to make sure that we're having fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want this to be like I don't want it to be so like such a burden to us where
Mm-hmm.
we're stressing over it. And she's probably not gonna like me saying this, but she when our first few videos came out, first video, first 2 videos actually, she's doing a lot better now. We've only had 3 videos, but she's been really concerned about like how many views we're getting.
Yeah.
And if someone dislikes the video, like our second video had 5 dislikes for some reason. I don't know why you dislike it, but go ahead. And she was very concerned about that because she's not used to. She's a very she doesn't put herself out on social media.
Yeah.
So this is very new to her. Even just like her Instagram, she doesn't do much on social media. So this is a very big step for her. And having her reading all the YouTube analytics of like the watch time, who subscribed, the dislike and dislikes, the comments, it was very. I think it was a bit overwhelming for her, and she's kind of adapting to now just just letting it be and just knowing that we're just doing this for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because it's fun for us to look back on these videos and watch it again, right? So I'm just keeping that as my mindset going into this. It's just we're just doing this for fun. Whatever happens. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just make sure you're making something that in 10 years you can look back and be like, oh man, I love this. And I was happy with that, right? But yeah, I understand Adrian's mentality there, especially when I started releasing my first few YouTube videos. Like, are they going to get the views I want and everything? And yeah, people, no video online has 0 dislikes, right? There's always going to be people who dislike it and stuff. So that's just kind of how it is. So I mean, you guys are doing great. Make sure she knows that I'm telling you guys, like, you guys are really doing great with your videos. They're really funny.
Well, I'm gonna make her watch this whole thing. I'm gonna make her listen to this whole thing.
Nice.
So.
We're getting another viewer. Let's go. One more.
Definitely. But yeah, she just she was just, it's just really stupid, but she would compare herself or us to some other YouTuber, and like, oh, their first video they had like 277,000 views, and I was like, oh, maybe they just it was the right video at the right time and it got viral. So there's not much else you can do, right? You just continue to put out the content that you like, and it's true to yourself. I think.
And I mean, I've seen your views. You guys are doing pretty well for a beginner channel. Like, just tell her this. My views on my vlogs.
You can just tell us directly to her.
Yeah, exactly. My views on my vlogs, Adrian, are not as much as the views you guys are getting on the few videos you've posted. I get maybe 400 if I'm lucky on a vlog, but you guys have been doing really well. So kudos to you. Yeah. But I think that's probably a good time or a good way to end this podcast. Man,
Yeah,
I didn't expect to take so many trips down memory lane on this one recording. I
I'm
thought I was
telling
talking a
you,
few things and then
once you go down memory lane, you just
yeah,
everything just comes back to you.
yeah. Oh
Like
man, that's
you
great.
reminded me of 30-hour famine. I did not remember that at all.
I'm gonna go back and look at my old yearbooks,
Oh,
everything,
I've
and
done that so many times.
you've done that so many times. Yeah,
I
I'm
read
gonna go do
all
that.
my sick all like all you guys signing it, and all the messages that people wrote on my yearbook, all
Oh
the pictures.
man.
Those are great.
I mean, grade 12 yearbook definitely has the best comments, but my
Oh, for
grade
sure.
8 yearbook, it's a lot of hags. You're
Tags.
kind of cool. I wish we talked more
Yeah, I
and
wish
stuff
I
like
have
that.
class with you next year.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of those. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
definitely going to do that. But Daniel, thank you again for coming on. I'll make sure to link your YouTube channel in the
thank
description.
you.
So people, if you want to check it out, the link's going to be in the description. Do you have any other social media you want to plug in or
No, not really, but just hopefully I can get you on my YouTube channel too.
oh, that would be a blast. It'd be
I
fun.
want
I
to
can
get you in
third
the
wheel
video.
with you and Adrian.
You don't have to third wheel. You can, who knows?
Mm.
Who
Nah,
knows, Ryan?
doesn't seem like there's a lot of opportunities right now with pandemic, but yeah. All right,
That's true.
Daniel, it's been a pleasure. Thank you again for
Of
coming
course.
on, and we'll see
No
you guys
problem.
all again someday soon. Bye.